Welcome to another edition of Success Talk. This is Dr. Herbert Harris, and today we have two of my friends, but two people who have really exemplified a lot of the things that this program is about. They have accomplished a lot of things in their lives. They have faced challenges. They have overcome them. They have made breakthroughs. And as Maya Angelou says, and still they rise. So Roland and Dorensa Roberts, thank you for joining us on Success Talk.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here with you, Dr. Harris. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Wow. We go back so many years as entrepreneurs, and so many of our mutual friends over the years, we had many have made their transitions, but it's just beautiful to see that you all are still working and doing things and just looking great.
Thank you so much. You are as well. We're taking that anti-aging blessing. How about that?
Yes. Now, how long have you all been together?
Together, we've been together a very long time. We've been married for going on 22 years.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. We met probably about 35, 40 years ago. We met. Yeah.
Well, I love couples because I always want to know what's the secret. So many people come together and my aunt used to say they spend 15 minutes and then they're gone off. What's the secret to you all staying together so long and rarely being able to work together?
Well, I think having a supportive wife is critical. I mean, when you have somebody that supports you and believe in you, you could do anything.
Wow. Yes.
Well, I know that before we were a couple, I met Roland many years ago. I was living in Connecticut. He was living in New York, and our paths have crossed because we were doing a fundraiser drive. And, I had always, looked up to him, and he would send me books and, motivational books and, self-improvement and leadership books. And he became a mentor.
Yes.
So that was way before any type of relationship, like, I guess a love relationship happened. It was more of a friendship and a respect relationship. So I think that's important, that at least you respect the person first and foremost, and then you, as your friends, then it, blossomed into us being here, going on 22 years of marriage now.
Wow. Well, you just said something that was very interesting. I was listening to, was it the Sherry Shepherd show? And a lady was being interviewed about, relationships, and I think Valentine's Day is coming up. And she was saying, she said, as she got older, she had certain questions that were deal breakers, And one of them, she said, the first thing I asked the guy was, what's the last book you read? And she said, if he had to think about it and couldn't remember, then her next question is, well, what's your favorite book? And she said, if he couldn't get through those two questions, that game over.
Okay.
So that's beautiful. Now tell a little about your backgrounds. Where are you from, Roland?
Wow. I'm from Grenada in the Caribbean.
Uh-huh.
And from very young, my goal was to come to the United States. And this is because people coming from the United States and coming to Grenada, they always come dressing good, have a lot of money, giving you some change.
Yes.
So my dream was to come to the United States.
Yes.
So I decided to come. I was able to get a 3 weeks vacation visa. I came here, but I knew I wasn't going to go back. Immediately I'm coming, registered to a school to try to change the visa to a student visa. So I had to work day, go to school day, work night. After a few months, I ran into a friend who told me you could get to stay here by going to the military. So I came in July. Around August, I registered to go to the military. And I was sent a one-way ticket in November, November the 6th, November the 7th. Then I went to where the fort in New Jersey, Fort Hamilton.
Yes.
And that they put me on the midnight train to Georgia.
I got you.
They sent me to Fort Gordon, Georgia. So my first year in the United States, I spent in the military in Fort Gordon, Georgia. My second year in this country, I spent in Vietnam.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's the price I had to pay to stay in this country.
Wow.
So if you were born here,
yeah,
they have no idea how blessed they are.
Wow.
Immigrant,
Yeah.
They pay the price.
Yes.
Some guys who went over with me never even came back.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Just to stay in this country.
Yes.
So I always had a dream. And my dream is total freedom.
Wow. Well, I think that's probably, I've known you from the entrepreneurial area, and I know you've been working hard at that. Yes. Yes. Now, Dorensa, a little about your background.
Okay, well, my family's from Panama, in the Republic of Panama, and they migrated here. They met here. So I grew up in a Panamanian Caribbean household. I was born in Brooklyn, and then my dad was in the Merchant Marines, and good friends of his told him that it would be great to raise children, not necessarily in New York, but to raise us up in New England. And that's where a lot of the ships were going out of Massachusetts. So he didn't want us in Massachusetts. He said, they looked around for him and they said Rhode Island was a nice place to raise a family. So that's where we ended up in Rhode Island, Providence. I grew up in Providence, went to high school in Providence, and did most of my academics in my young life there. And then went to Northeastern University. So it was far enough away from home, but still close enough that I could get back. And they were giving more money than all the other schools that were further away that I wanted to go to. But some of my folks were happy that I was going to be, close by. So I graduated from Northeastern, and I pledged in a sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, and studied and I was in public health administration. I thought I wanted to, before I went there, I thought I wanted to be a pediatrician. Love children, still love children. And I loved the medical field, but I just could not get over dissecting mice and things like that.
Yeah.
So I said, let me do the public health route. So I'm still engaging. I've always been, I guess, an extrovert. So I've always loved people. And I thought, well, let me work in this route. But I realized that, being a social worker wasn't paying enough for me. Now, God bless the folks that's their calling, but that was not my calling. So after that, I learned about business and other things, and I did the financial business track.
Wow. Yeah. Now, I know that when we met, I know our friend Desmond. Is Desmond still alive?
He's still alive.
Beautiful, beautiful. I remember meeting you all, I think, there. That was like the entrepreneurial center for Brooklyn for so long. Yeah.
And Ali.
And Ali Yassin, yeah. Ali helped me have my first success in network marketing was with Ali. Because I'd been in Wilmington, we had a fellow from Wilmington, George Halsey, and he was a Amway Diamond. And so George would come home and he had a Cadillac, and that was his whole presentation. Like, get in, ride around the block. He said, "You want one like this?" I'm like, yeah. And but I never was successful at Amway, and with Ali, with Dick Gregory and the Bahamian diet, man, we blew it off the roof. Yep, yep, yep.
Mhm, mhm.
Now, what made you all to decide that entrepreneurial route?
Well, I was working on Wall Street at that time. I met a young lady who told me about Amway, and she and her husband was in that business. So I say, if her husband played for the New York Jets. So I say, if this guy is so successful, he's around successful people, and he is doing this had to be good.
Yes.
So I joined, and then my whole life was changed because I coming from where I was hanging out with the group that was having fun, partying and so on. And now they tell me have to read books, go to seminars and rallies. And so my whole habit was changed.
Yes.
And from then on, I just got hooked on what I considered the greatest opportunity, greatest business in the world, which is network marketing.
Yes. Wow. I guess we all have that same path, that I know it gave me the opportunity to retire at 49. Yes, yes, yes. Now, have you always worked together in the businesses?
Well, I met Dorensa in that business. So, I mean, going there gave me the best, how would I express it? The best gift in my life.
Wow. Yeah.
I get it from that business.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I was working 3 jobs when I got out of school, and I was living in Connecticut, and I was working at the mall. Someone that was working at the mall and another store, he told me about, what he was doing, and it was the Big A, and I never heard of the company before. So he said, "Oh, come with me and we'll, go to a meeting." And so I went with him, and then there was the rally, and our group was part of the New York group. So we took a drive down to New York from Connecticut. I lived in Hartford at that time. Drove down to New York, and it was this huge group of people, all successful people, sharp folks, and it was like a big kumbaya moment. But folks on the stage were really talking about success principles. And then I remember the product pickup and all these different things. So I was just kind of like trying to learn what this new environment was about. And that's when I had met Roland, because we were kind of cross-lined from one another. And he lived in Brooklyn, and I had relatives that were in Brooklyn. So that's kind of how we met. But then there was a toy drive. And I wanted to be part of the toy drive with a chamber of commerce that we both were part of. So I drove down to New York. Actually, I worked in New York at the time, and Roland said, "Okay, we can come and pick up the toys from your office." And that's how we started to really just, say hello and just connect as friends. And that's where, as I say, the rest is history.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. Now, Dorenza, you do more financial services?
Yes. I work with a financial firm, and I've been with the firm. I've been in financial services for about 21 years. But what I have done is I really work with people to help them make sure that they're protect their assets, their life, and just give them financial literacy and education as to how they can be able to work with what they have and also protect what they have.
Wow. Yeah. Now, very interesting, working together. And I think Roland shared some of that passion, really you were giving a very powerful message, Roland, that, many of us who were born here may not appreciate the value and the potential, the possibilities. if there was one or two obstacles, one or two things that really blocked your growth, I sometimes call that Goliath moment, when something blocks you, stops you, and what was it, and how did you get through it?
I think one of the things is habit.
Mm.
The habit you have developed on your early lives and then have to make a change. So overcoming habit was one of the distractions.
Mm-hmm.
Another distraction is just things like television, hanging out with friends, the company that you keep, that you have to give up and move over from one to the next, from one group of people to the next, and so on. So that was some of the things that I had to overcome.
Right, and I will agree with what Roland is saying, because so people would want to pull you in their direction.
Yeah.
And one thing that in terms of obstacles for myself, Dr. Harris, is that just getting out of my own way, and also to realize that what I have people need, and if I don't stay focused on that track, I can be going all over the place. And some of that is happening right now, as a matter of fact, that so many people want to, sometimes you feel like an octopus. So many people want your time that if you don't stay on the track that you need to, you're gonna lose friends, you're gonna lose family members. You gotta love them from a distance. You're not totally disowning them. They may disown you, but you're not disowning them.
Yeah.
But just staying on the track where we know that we want to be able to go for our lives and for our family.
Wow.
Making sure that we're cognizant of that.
And that's so important. You were getting ready to say something, Roland?
No, well, I agree with Dorensa. Family and friends inviting you to things that when you'll have to say no to, get together, you'll have to say no to, and other occasions that will be happening, and you have your dreams, and you have to decide, do I do things that will get me to where I want to go? Or do I be distracted by the things they want me to do, which is hanging out and drinking and having fun? So you have to give up some of those things. So
it's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice.
Yeah. And I guess that's why, Amway was so successful, and network marketing. I love the industry because I think when you really get into it, you surround yourself with like-minded people. So instead of people who say, what they used to say, there's no PV in TV. Yeah. Yeah. So instead of, as they say, sitting there, and the young people now, I think their thing is chilling. So what are you doing? I'm chilling. I'm like, well, what's that look like? Looks like you're not doing anything to me, But yeah, but the people you surround yourself with are really critical to your success.
Yes.
Yeah. Now you mentioned something a little bit about distractions, like the people pulling you away. What's the one thing you do to kind of eliminate those distractions? Is it choices, focus?
My dream.
Ooh, yes. Yes.
Yeah. So, and then again, I'm around people with the dream.
Yes.
So that's my family now.
Yes. Okay.
So I always want to be with my family, people with a dream. And let me tell you, I was so surprised to see there are so many people that wouldn't come along with the dreamers.
Yes. Wow.
And you know what, family, when we say family, we were just talking about this. It's like we have our relatives and we have our family.
Yes.
So our relatives are not always the family.
Right.
So when we're following people that, like you mentioned, Dr. Harris, the folks that are like-minded people that want success, that want, that want things, bigger dreams, that want more for their family. It's not being selfish, it's dreaming much bigger, and realizing that we have a calling that's much bigger than ourselves. And we are selfish if we don't share that with people, and if we just, keep in a cocoon. We want to make sure that and what we do is we keep God first and foremost. Then it's the two of us.
Yes.
And then we work with the family of the dreamers.
Yes.
We want our relatives to come along and support us in what we do. But if they don't, we still need to move forward, because this world, there's blinders on so many people that are looking for what we each have to offer to them. Some people just don't know what they don't know. And it's up to us to give them the education, give them the information, so that they can know there's a better way for themselves. And just, we got to focus on our dreams, be aware of dream killers and dream stealers. They may mean well for us, and many times they do. There's like, oh, well, why are you driving so far away? Why are you doing this? And why are you doing this? And why, well, we know that we have a track that we're running on. And that's what we have to continue to be cognizant of and do what we need to do.
But something, even families will be some of the dream stealers, because they would compare you with other people who might be on your level or below, but they wouldn't compare you with the people that is doing so much better than you.
Yes.
Why can't you be comfortable? You're doing well, look and such. So comparison is one of the dream stealers also.
Ooh, I tell you that, that so many people have let their dreams be stolen, because it takes a focus, like as you were saying, Roland, a focus on your dream. It's like, I don't see nothing but where I want to go. It's like, when you go to the racetrack and they put the blinders on the horse, they don't see anything. And that's a powerful piece. That's wow. And to have that dream, many people don't really have a dream, being a practitioner as you are, with the whole manifestation of writing the vision and make it plain and read it over time and time again. And the most interesting thing is when people see your success, even those family people, you say, well, you can do this, like, say, Herb, man, you look great. I tell you, man, you don't age at all. And what's your secret? And I tell them, I say, would you like more information? And now to give them, well, no, I really can't do that. So,
I'm good.
I'm good. Yeah. I'm like, and so, I used to try to rescue everybody, like, and convince them that there's a better way. But if people don't believe it in their hearts, you can talk to them till you're blue in the face. And it's almost like saving a drowning person. Job one is don't let them drown you.
That's right.
Yeah. Now,
something you mentioned about a manifestation, we've had the vision board. I know you're familiar with the vision board.
That's right.
Having a vision board, and I looked at the vision board that I created in 2007.
Yes.
And on that vision board, one of the places that I had on there is just the word Dubai. We went to Dubai in April of 2022, which was last year.
Uh-huh.
And that was our first time. And I looked and I was like, I know I've had this word. I know I had that location to go to. And it was on there. And several things prior to that have happened. And we have the vision board that we see all the time. And it's like, oh my gosh, this thing really, really happens. People think it's kind of like woo-woo stuff, and it is not. It really, really works.
Yes.
So that prayer and you doing the work, that combination definitely helps.
And gratitude. Give thanks for everything, whether it look good or bad, because if God is your partner and
Yes.
something don't work out your way, you just give thanks because he's in control. Something better is coming. And we see that all the time.
Wow. That's it. Well, you know, my watchword is the best is yet to come.
Yes.
Wow. Now, you know, a lot of times people, you know, they'll see your success and um, be envious or jealous, but and they say, "Well, you're so self-assured. You know, you all are cut out for this." But have you ever had doubts about any project you were doing or any situation you were in, and how did you overcome those doubts?
Oh man, so many times doubt would come up, doubt would creep up so many times. Books, prayer, the family, music. One of my favorite is Bob Marley. Don't worry about a thing.
Yes.
Every little thing.
Yes.
Going to be all right.
Yes. Wow.
And we were talking about, you know, the different songs that really help us to push through. And mine is I Know Who I Am. You know, I'm not gonna butcher her name, but it's I think it's Sinech that sings that, and it's, you know, walking in power, walking in miracles. I know who I am. And you know, God is the center of this. So it's a great song. And I blast it in the car, I blast it in the house.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's just a great booster to just help that course correction.
Yes. Yes. And that's so important to make those course corrections to I know in network marketing, one of the things that I found that the people who really succeed is they often have an accountability system set up so that they can see how they're doing and is it effective? You know, are you just blowing smoke or do you need to change a new direction? And how important is it to be able to course correct? You know, some people can hit a rock and they'll think it's the end of the world. But others will hit a rock and like, I'm glad I hit it now. You know, what do you think about this whole idea of course correcting and that no matter where you are in your life right now, you can make a change and you can create a new ending?
Well, it's association is key for me. I mean, the people you associate with, the books you read, the music you listen to, the tapes you listen to, all these things could correct it. And your dream, I mean, your dream, whatever is your dream, if your dream is in front of you and you know this is your dream, you don't stop, you don't try, but you give it all you could. Total commitment.
Wow.
And at work, I have there's a study group. So I belong to a study group and accountability partner. That's very, very key. So that we all know that we're working in the same direction, you know, of what we want to achieve. And we help each other just stay on track and accountable to one another, so that and we pray in our study group. And a lot of times people don't believe in having business with you know with prayer, but that's why the accountability group is so important and was formed because we all are believers. And we know that the combination of doing the work, our prayer, and just talking to one another and staying plugged in is important for us to be able to move forward.
Yes.
all
Yes.
together.
Wow. That's so beautiful. The now you all and let me ask another. I'll tell you an interesting question. When you look back over your life and you've had so many accomplishments, what would you think is your greatest accomplishment, the thing that you're most proud of?
My own was having my wife, the person that I'm married to now. My greatest accomplishment was to get married to her. And without her, I wouldn't have the success that I have. And I'm having a lot of success right now. I mean, a lot of success. I mean, I give thanks every day for everything because I'm happy, I'm healthy, no stress, no headache. I mean, life is great. Life is great. I'm excited about getting up in the morning and just enjoying life. So that's my greatest accomplishment, having her.
Oh
Wow.
my, how do I top that? I can't top. I'll just leave that alone. I'll leave that alone. I'll leave that alone. Next
Well,
one.
well, I'll tell you what, why Dorensa said, well, that's I'm sure that's your greatest accomplishment too. So maybe what's your next?
But I will tell you, the great thing about being married to Roland is that we are, as they say, opposites attract,
Uh-huh.
because I'm more vocal about different things, about a lot of things. And Roland, he would think, and he would, ponder and all that. But we keep each other on point, because
Mm.
something that I may think about, he may not think about, something he may think about, I may not think about. And then we talk about it,
Uh-huh.
and come to an assessment and say, okay, that does make sense, or how about we do something different, or how about we whatever. But the main thing is that the communication is very, very important,
Mm.
and that the mutual respect for one another. And like I said, when I first met Roland, he was my mentor because he had all of these different books, and that I never knew anything about. So he opened my eyes to a whole new world of self-development, self-improvement, just looking at things from a totally different perspective, because I was the one hanging out, partying. I mean, I like to have a good time.
Yeah.
And we still do, but keeping everything into perspective is
Yeah.
the important thing. And everything is in its own time, because I know, several years ago, having a person in my life that likes to read books all the time, that would have been boring to me. But
Mm.
over
Yeah.
time, I've
Yeah.
learned how to appreciate that. And also, I do the Kindle and I do audiobooks. So those types of things I've learned over the years because of my friendship with Roland, and two, our relationship, and then three, going into our marriage for all of these years. So it's just been a blessing and
Yeah.
a great education, and it's just been a wonderful journey that we're both enjoying and
Well,
blessed.
because I see I can just feel the vibration between the two of you. What would you say? I know that I think one of the great things about getting a little older is that you have a frame of reference. And so many young people, even young entrepreneurs, I see couples come into network marketing and attempt to do, what they do. But what do you say if there were 3 tips, 3 suggestions for having a good relationship, whether you're in marketing or anything, but clearly you all have are experts at it. Okay. So what would you say, 3 things that that can help couples stay together and be happy?
Yeah, I think put God first.
God first.
Mhm. And mutual respect, because
Mm,
we disagree on certain things, and we have to just agree to disagree without being nasty. And I've seen people talk really rude to one another. And
mm,
if we have the mutual respect, there's a way to communicate and to speak to people, to each other. So that's one thing, just mutual respect. God first, mutual respect, and just be willing to see a different perspective.
mm. I guess be willing to listen to one another. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Different perspective. Wow. Okay, let's see. Couple of things and then we're getting close to our finish.
Mhm.
If you were, looking back from where you are right now, what advice would you give your younger self?
Start earlier on the journey to success.
Yes. Beautiful. That's powerful, Roland. Yes.
What did I say? My younger self,
Yes.
I would say, just be more patient.
Mm,
Don't rush into and try to force things the way that you want them to be, just
yes.
because everything has worked out.
Yes.
And worrying about things that may never happen, has never happened. That's what I would say to my younger self. Just, stay the course and don't rush things.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Mhm.
powerful. I like that. Stay the course and don't rush. I'm gonna write that down because those are gems. It's very simple, but it's like that's what you call the hot truth. Okay.
Mhm.
Now,
And if I may add
eh,
another thing, Dr. Harris, is don't follow the crowd.
ooh, yes, yes. Wow. Well, I wish we could make a sign for many of our young people and put it up in their house, in their bedrooms. Wow. Now, I have an interesting question. If you were, think 20 years down the line,
Mhm.
20, 25 years down the line, what older self would you give, advice would you give to yourself now? Looking 25 years down the line, 30 years down the line, what advice would you give yourself now?
Figure it out.
I would say, enjoy the journey,
Ooh,
enjoy each step, because whether it's a good day or it's not a good day, learn from each day and enjoy the journey.
And gratitude, just give thanks for everything that's happening in your life because you are going one door closed, there's another door open. Something better is coming. Look forward to the good things that it will be coming.
Mhm.
wow.
And I would say be grateful for the time that we have. Life is so short.
Mhm.
Life is so short. And in the industry that I'm in mostly is I see people here today and gone tomorrow of all ages, from young people to more seasoned people. You
Mm,
just never know. You speak to somebody, one day or a moment, and then the next thing you get another call and they're no longer here.
mm,
So just, as I don't know who the songwriter is, and but it's shower the people you love with love.
shout out to people. Yeah, yes,
That's a song, and I'm not sure who sang it, but just do that,
yes.
and
Wow.
and and give everyone, even if you're just giving them a smile or just a pat on the back or some some goodness, because you never know whose path you're going to run across later in life. The janitor who could be sweeping the floors now could be the person who owns the company later,
Mm,
or
yes,
could be the owner of the company. Just
yes,
the,
yes.
you never know. So just and I've seen
Don't prejudge.
I've seen President Obama and President Clinton have that type of aura about them. They
Yes,
treat everyone the same.
yes.
And I'm learning to be able to do that. And you can't prejudge because you never know.
Mm,
Especially in this, people that could be very, very wealthy, they could have holes in their jeans and all that. They just may be comfortable,
yes,
you know? And someone who's all dressed up in a suit and all that could be living in their car.
yes.
So you never
No,
know. So
you never
don't
know.
prejudge and just speak to everyone that you can with the love of God in you, because you don't know how long you have, you
Yeah,
don't know how long they have.
yeah. And you know something, Dorensa, you never know. The word, sometimes you'll meet a person and you'll feel compelled to say something and you may hold back, but many times God is speaking through you, you know. I don't know if you ever had an experience like that, but something I was really once reluctant to say to somebody, And when I said, they said, "Oh my God, that's what I needed to hear." That that
Mm,
that thing has been lingering in my mind, and when you said it was just confirmation, and I'm like,
uh-huh.
man, So
Yeah.
yeah, that I don't know if you ever had an experience like that.
Oh yeah, and sometimes you'll be holding back somebody's blessing. You could be the blessing.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
continue, just keep them away from that.
Yes. Wow. Now that's a good concept. You could be holding back somebody's blessing. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Wow.
And
What?
your book
Yeah.
has been a blessing to us. Speaking of blessings,
Yes.
the book you have on the background there, the 12 Universal Laws, there are so many gems in that book. Everybody should get this book. It should be part of everybody's library because there's so many good lessons in there that we've come away with. And just so I don't know if you know or not, but I remember learning about your book many, many years ago by being on a mastermind call with Ali and the group.
Yes.
And your book was the book that they had been talking about when I first joined that call. And it's like, wow, this book has really, really been very helpful. So thank you very much for your insight and for your vision for the education that you provided.
Wow. Thank you so much. Was there any particular part that kind of jumped out at you?
Tell me right now. Okay.
I like on your journey, don't rest for too long.
Yes.
I mean, you don't want to lose the momentum by becoming comfortable.
Yes. Yes. Wow.
Right. So, and what you something that you had said is success and achievement come through continuous work. That's what you had seen, and I was like, oh my gosh. And it's kind of similar to what Roland is saying,
Yes.
is that we get our success and then it's like the hare and the tortoise. We just
Yeah.
kind of like chill out, but we
Uh-huh.
relax and then we rev up again. It's like, no, just continually do that. So that's one of the things. And then of course you have every day and everywhere I'm getting better and better.
Yes.
And that is
Oh, yeah.
just key. And that's always been the mantra.
That I've been saying for years, every day and
Yes.
every week.
I'm getting better and better. Yes. I
There's so
tell you.
many gems. We don't have
Yeah.
enough time to go through all
Yeah.
of the gems.
Well, I thank you. I thank you so much, and I appreciate it so much because it's folks like you that we really wrote the book for, people who value that personal growth, who have a dream, who want to be more, who want to do more, and I appreciate you. Any final words, recommendations, advice that you'd like to give to the audience, and then if there's a company or a website you'd like to share, so that people can contact you.
One, I'll say, make God your partner.
Ooh. Well, you just dropped pearls, Roland. Yeah.
Yeah. And what I would say is be careful who you share your dreams and goals with. You can't share with everybody. So just guard who you share those with. Mhm.
Those are two powerful nuggets. Well, I'll tell you this. I have so enjoyed. Now, did you want to give a website or any contact information? Because people will see this interview and wonder about it, and they say, "Who are these people?"
Yes.
Gold, silver, Bitcoin.info.
Yes.
Gold, silver, Bitcoin.info.
Info.
Okay.
Yes.
Info. All right. So excellent, excellent. Did you want to add something, Dorensa?
Nope, that's good.
Yeah. Now that's in the cryptocurrency. How's that thing seems to be going wild? Any thoughts on that?
Yes, yes, we're with the blockchain is the future.
Mhm.
And all businesses are getting involved in the blockchain now. And that's what we are doing. It is changing the world, just like how Uber changed the situation
Yes.
Transportation.
and
Yes.
the transportation.
Mhm.
The blockchain is given you the opportunity to change even the banking situation where you get less than 1% interest on your money and they have it working for you. With the blockchain, you could create your own bank.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know.
So
Yeah.
Roland's phone number, I want to give that if we may. His
Sure.
number is 929
Uh-huh.
234
Uh-huh.
9564.
Okay.
And then my number for financial services is 917
Uh-huh.
912 0679.
917-912-0679. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, Roland Dorensa, I just want to thank you so much. I'll tell you this.
Mm.
I enjoy speaking with people who have who've stood the test of time. You know,
Mm.
there are a lot of people who show up and go up, and then you look around 5 years later and you can't find them. You need a detective to find them. But it's just a great tribute, one, to your relationship, to your understanding, and to your dream. That
Mhm.
over the years you have worked together, you've accomplished a lot. And I just, on behalf of our audience and the people who will hear this, thank you so much. I guarantee there's some pearls, there's some gems in this that when people hear it, they'll say, I just needed to hear that.
Mhm. Mhm. See, I wore my pearls just for you, Dr. Harris.
All right. Now, I tell you, Sandra loves pearls. She says, a lady has to have pearls, got to keep your pearls. And that makes it, well, I'm still a stickler for old school dress. A fellow told me one day, he said, Dr. Harris, do you ever come out in dungarees? I said, I only own one pair of dungarees, and they're so old they have buttons. Okay, so I mean, I've had them for years and years, but I really believe that the world often treats you how they see you, and when you
Mhm.
look a certain kind of way, and we
Mhm.
call it the business attire, but it's not just business; it's an aura that you have, and when you project that aura through how you look, that's more than money. You know,
Yeah.
people will open the door and let you in places you can't even buy your way in.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. True, true, true.
Well, thank you so much for being here today. Thanks for sharing. I know that when you watch it, I believe you'll be pleased because you all have created an image, a rare
Mm.
image of a couple
Mm.
who work together to build a dream. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you. Blessings
Thank
to
you. Blessings
you.
to you.
And I
Okay.
and I always love to say this, that for our listeners, today was a special, not just a message, a special event where
Mm.
you got a chance to see and hear from a couple, and an operative word, couple, two people who get along. As Dorensa
Mm.
was saying, we don't always agree, but we agree to be disagreeable. We agree to disagree.
Yes.
And we always, yeah, don't agree to be disagreeable. That would not be good. But that to always have that respect. And so to be able to always work together. And so I admire you for that. And I think that this will be a model to many of those who watch this program. So thank you for being our guest today. You will inspire many of our watchers and listeners to know that they can be what they want to be, do what they want to do, and have anything they desire, always knowing that the best is yet to come.